Welcome, Manhood Academy students and Boggles, who almost blew the intro a second time in a row. I could hear you mumbling right as we were opening the podcast. That Boggles. Fucking Boggles. Okay, well, we have today DBP. We have Mind Boggler. We have Blue. And possibly High School 101. But I have a feeling we're going to have to dump High School 101 because the quality of his mic might be a little shoddy. And so instead of fighting through the distraction of the noise and the echo and all that, if your echo is bad or for whatever reason, we just got to cut you out because we got a mile of stuff to go through. I posted the podcast topics, and there's a billion of them. There's some of them I think we have covered, but we're just going to work through them, and I want to clean this whole slate off eventually. So this might be a 3-parter podcast because it looks like there's a ton of stuff on here. We'll see how it goes. So at the 2-hour mark, somebody wake me up. Actually, at the 1-hour mark, when it gets to 9 or 9:30, somebody wake me up. And by somebody, I mean everybody. All right, let's start. Where are we starting? Let's see. No. The bottom, where we're going bottom to top. We're going oldest to newest, so we can cover all the old stuff and go to the new stuff. Okay, there's a paragraph I wrote here. I just realized this was not part of Wolf's post. And, oh God, I'm so anxious to get to Boggler's.
Let's finish that first.
Terrible EM report. No, let's not finish that first, because as exciting as that is, I remember how terrible that MP3 was. I was expecting, it's not terrible because of the sound quality, I think, but it's just terrible because of the content. It's just so terrible to listen to.
Well, isn't that what the students need?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's very I don't know how educational it'll be, but we'll try to make it as educational as possible. Okay. It's basically like taping white noise, like your TV on. That's exactly what the conversation reminded me of. Just a lot of teeth pulling, a lot of hemming, a lot of hawing, a lot of hesitation. Like you're watching, like a high school play, but a terrible high school play. Okay, let's see here. I realized that the simple act of flipping an egg takes practice. The chef does not realize he has a ton of training that makes the motion effortless. But to someone who has never flipped an egg before, it's like asking them to climb Mount Everest. The chef can't relate to the audience. The chef can't relate to the audience's incompetence. Training brings realization. Who's beeping? Hello?
Oh. Wait, is that my fire alarm? Hold on, let me close the door.
How about replacing the battery?
Okay,
hey, Plum, where is this that you're reading? What are you reading so I can follow along?
At the very bottom.
At the bottom page. Okay. Hey, Torero's online.
Yeah, Torero.
Okay, I'm
Get
getting
the Torero in. Fucking Boggles. He probably has that thing on for like 3 months straight.
Yeah, it is actually.
Boggles is such an asshole. Who was it? Adam Carolla show. You know when Adam and, not Adam Carolla show, Love Lines, when Adam was with Dr. Drew, Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew were broadcasting on Love Lines, they'd always call somebody, and you hear that beep, beep in the background, and they started realizing people...
Torero, bro, you're on a podcast.
Yay, I wake up from a nap and I'm treated to this goodness.
Welcome. I'm in the middle of a story, so pipe down. Okay, so Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew used to podcast or not podcast, but they had a, radio show, Loveline, and they'd always get callers, people calling in, and like every, 10th or 20th call, I don't know what it was, how often it was, but it was often enough that it was noticeable by them, and eventually they realized people are such assholes. They adapt to things. People can adapt to the most ridiculous, painful situations possible. For instance, you got a fire alarm, and you know how the fire alarm has the little beeping sound? It indicates that your batteries are low. That's so it tells you, hey, we're going to make an annoying sound, as annoying as humanly possible, so that you'll remember to change your battery so you don't burn to death in a fire. So there's a high-pitched little beep, like an annoying high-pitched little beep that beeps every so often from your fire alarm, indicating that your battery is low. Hey, asshole, here's a super annoying sound to remind you, change your fire alarm battery. But Boggles, like most people, just has adapted to the sound. To him, it's like listening to Lady Gaga. It's just this nice little beep every now and then. Boggles probably has people over, and they're just too polite to say anything. And then Boggles is talking. So here's my house. Here's my goldfish. Beep, and you just hear this fucking annoying sound. That's Boggles.
Yeah.
But
actually,
Boggles, don't feel lonely, because that's a lot of people. A lot of people do that. They just let that fire alarm battery just slowly die, so they could still. I wonder if they could still get the warning if they're in a fire. Beep. He's still fucking beeping. Is that Boggles still beeping? God damn it! Just take the fucking batteries out so you'll burn.
Alright, it's located in I have to climb over something. Hold on.
God damn it!
Located in an awkward position.
Oh boy.
So
only in a Manhood Academy podcast.
Only in a Manhood Academy podcast do fire alarms come into play. So, but this is just a classic indication of people just, instead of solving a problem, they adapt to the problem. This is a classic example of that. Imagine how fucking annoying that sound is, and you're just like, nah, I'm too lazy to fucking. At least you could, if you don't care about the fire alarm, you don't care about dying in a fire, great. Take the fucking battery out. You don't even have to worry about it. But you're so fucking lazy, you're just like, you know what, that's an annoying sound, but I'd have to reach up and unscrew that, that little holder of the battery compartment. I'm just gonna let it keep beeping and annoying the fuck out of me till I just adapt to it. But that's
story of my life.
That's the story of our lives.
Exactly.
That's a collective story.
Exactly.
Boggles is gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, oh, I'm so much less annoyed today. I wonder what happened. Oh, I got rid of
I'm always annoyed.
Got rid of the battery sound.
And then his house is gonna light on fire
Yes.
and he'll burn alive.
And it'll be a warning, caution, kids, replace your batteries. Boggles didn't do it. Okay, that's enough for the PSA. Okay, so before Boggles rudely interrupted, I was reading this paragraph here, and Terrell, you could see, I don't know if you could see the post in this student lounge. It is covering all the topics that we're covering, and we're working from the bottom to the top. I wrote this. What's that?
Which thread are we on in the student lounge?
Student lounge podcast topics.
I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're at the very bottom paragraph that starts with, I realize that the simple act of flipping an egg takes practice. The chef doesn't realize he has a ton of training and makes the motion effortless or seem effortless. But to someone who has never flipped an egg before, it's like asking them to climb Mount Everest. Why did I write that? Blue.
This is the first time I've ever seen this thread, but
yeah, I just posted it 2 seconds ago.
This is the same thing you were talking about, the schedules. How if you haven't experienced it, and someone's telling you to do something, it seems impossible for you. So that's why you need someone to kind of show you.
Yes, this is when I had. Yeah, exactly. You're correct. This is when I had a Pimperclip over, and Pimperclip, I was just telling him, hey, if you want to cook something, I think he was saying something about cooking, and I was like, well, if you want to cook something simple, here's a simple thing that'll take you like 5 or 10 minutes to fix. He's like, oh, dude, I can't do that. And it's ridiculously easy. But then I realized, like, something as easy as just flipping an egg, when you do it so many times, you're looking at the egg, you got a spatula, you could do it blindfolded. You just slip it under and flip it over. But to somebody who's never flipped an egg, there's no connection, there's no realization of what it even takes, because you're looking at that thing and going, how do I get that over? It's staring at me, it's stuck on the pan. How is this flat spatula going to get under there, and what's it going to look like once it's flipped over? What's it going to feel like, that flipping motion? You have no point of reference for that. So even the simple, mundane task of flipping an egg becomes this monumental event. You know, when they say making mountains out of molehills, this is really just a molehill. Just flipping an egg is a slight bump, if that, in life. But to you, who've never done it before, it's like, what? This is like climbing Mount Everest. I'm not prepared. I don't know what to do. How fast do I put the spatula under the egg? What do I do once I have it in the air? How long do I hold it? How fast do I want to flip it? What if I hit it too hard and it breaks? What do I do? You know, there's all these questions to ask about just the simple act, because there's no experience of it. So this is kind of relating to even the schedule. Like, a lot of times people talk themselves out of doing something because there's no point of reference for that thing. Like if you crossed a rope bridge in Africa, and you had in Indiana Jones, have you ever seen Temple of Doom when they're crossing that bridge that's made out of wood and ropes? And you could just walk across. It's like walking across any other bridge, except it's a rope bridge, and you've probably never been across it before. Well, all kinds of things can run through your mind. The wood's going to break. Am I supposed to hold on to the ropes? Am I supposed to shake it? How fast am I supposed to run across this thing? Am I supposed to be a certain weight? So all these considerations come when you don't have a point of reference for doing something. And this is one of the problems here, not having the experience. And really, these experiences connect. Like flipping an egg, it's a daunting task if you've never done it. But once you flip that egg a few times, you're like, this is nothing. It's nothing to even panic about. It's ridiculous. If the egg breaks, tomorrow I could try again. It's very simple. And it's very easy to learn. There's no like super duper nuances of flipping it. There's just a certain motion you just do, and you just practice it 1 or 2 times, and then maybe 10 times if necessary, and you got it. That's it. That's all there is to it. But if there's no point of reference, you realize, oh, this seems more daunting. Then when you do it, you're like, oh, this is so easy. Then you connect it to other events, like drawing a picture. You know, people always say, oh, I'm so terrible at drawing. I don't know how to draw. I don't know how to draw. You draw so well. Why? No point of reference. What's it like drawing a human head? What's it like drawing a human body? I don't know proportions. I don't know shading. I don't know this and that. All those things can be taught. All those things are just a matter of practice. And then you could be the worst, illustrator in the world, but You take lessons for a month or so, pretty soon you can draw something fairly quickly just by rote practice. And then you realize, oh, it's not that difficult. It's just a matter of practice. It's just a matter of repetition. It's just a matter of getting the movements down and becoming familiar with them. It's just a matter of having this realization. So again, it's that key realization which breaks the ice. It's the thing that separates you from doing something, the realization. Like for instance, there's nothing preventing any of you right now from going to a club, a bar, a grocery store, outside, a boardwalk, anywhere right now, and just opening up a conversation with a stranger. There's nothing preventing you from doing that. It's very easy. It doesn't even have to be like you're asking them to go out or, you're trying to form a relationship. It's just starting a conversation with a stranger. It is the simplest thing to do. Why? Because I have a realization. I have some experience doing it. I have some experience doing the rote things that are involved in just a typical conversation. I know what to expect. So it's a very simple thing for me. It's like flipping an egg. Like, for instance,
I hear somebody's...
Yeah, who's echoing? Echo, echo. Torero, torero.
Yes? The podcast is echoing through your speakers, bro.
Torero.
Is that better?
Hold on, let's try again.
Sounds better now.
Hello, hello. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Who's echoing? Fuck!
Alright, guys, I turned the TV down already.
Who's echoing? We got echo?
That analogy you made about people not having realizations, what you just said, it reminds me of, it's like you giving somebody a bunch of computer parts and saying, oh, it's so easy to build a computer, and then you just give them all the parts and say, okay, now build a computer, and then you don't show them how to do it. That's what it reminds me of.
Okay, so again, you know what? That's not entirely correct because there's instruction manuals and, people can even post YouTube videos showing exactly how to do it. But if you don't have the experience of actually moving a part and, like I could see somebody putting that little grease on the bottom. Who's echoing? Fuck!
I just said that. Someone's still echoing.
Do we have to do process of elimination? I'm going to be sad. We got to chop somebody off.
Everyone speak up. Let's see who echoes.
I think it might be Torero.
I think it's Blue.
Blue?
I don't know. I disconnected my speakers and it's still echoing. So I don't think...
Okay, we're gonna play Clue. All right, eliminate Torero. Eliminate Torero first. Chop off Torero.
We discriminated here.
Yeah, chop off the minority first.
Yep.
It's
no
him?
Echo.
No echo?
No echo.
no echo.
Well, somebody type in the chat room. Sorry, Torero. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, I gave him a frowny face to show I'm genuine. Or frowning face, not a smiley face.
I guess it's just language. What does that mean?
Okay, so is Torero gone?
Yes,
Yeah, he'll just have to hear this when it plays. Okay, so where was I? Gotta not concentrate on the screen.
You were telling me why my PC analogy was shitty.
Right. So you could see actual videos on YouTube of putting a heat sink in a computer or the CPU in there. And I could watch a guy, my friend does that for a living. I can watch him put that little grease on there and connect it to the board. And it seems very simple when he does it. But if I just hold that CPU processor, I have no experience applying that little grease on there and putting it down on the board, even though I saw him do it just like 2 seconds ago and it looks really simple. But once I start holding it and actually doing it, it's all these little minutiae of questions come up because I have no experience doing it. I have no hands-on experience. So showing you how to do it and telling you how to do it don't change the fact that you still have to do it to get the realization. You won't get the realization without the training, even though I could tell you exactly what the realization is going to be like. I can tell you what it's going to be like to flip that egg. I can get very descriptive. But until you actually flip that egg, you're not going to understand what it's like.
Okay, I understand now.
So there needs to be that training. They always say you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I could take you right up into the point of the directions, showing you how to do it, showing you how to do it, demonstrate it for you. But until you actually practice it a few times, you won't understand how simple it is. That's why I could say, look, go talk to that stranger. Here, I'll demonstrate it. It's simple. It's easy. And I could just do it in 2 seconds. But for you, it's like climbing Mount Everest because you don't have that actual experience over and over and seeing, oh, how simple it really is. Once it clicks, once you train long enough, like if you're swinging a tennis racket, you never played tennis before, and once you make a connection and hit that forehand enough times, then all of a sudden one day it just clicks. Forehands are simple now. It's no longer I have to think about my motion. I just do it. It's just like a natural motion. When they talk about sports and they talk about, oh, this person has so much talent, they can do this, Michael Jordan flying in the air. They're speaking from a point of no realization. They're still in awe of what's going on because they don't know how simple it is. Like, if you're an athletic guy, I'm an athletic guy. I'm not Michael Jordan. I'm not, doing 360 dunks, but I know what it's like to do what he's doing in a sense that I have experience playing basketball and I'm fairly athletic. So I know that, making a layup, I made a reverse layup before where I pump fake, one side and did a reverse. It's a very simple thing to the person who's doing it. It's not like the person describing it, the broadcaster describing it. It's not like his experience. His experience is a removed experience. His experience is this, oh, this person is doing some remarkable thing with their body and they're adjusting in the air and it's
exaggeration.
Well, it's not exaggeration to them. They don't have the experience of it. So they're speaking about it according to what they think it's going to be like.
Whereas if you ask the actual person, they'll say, "I'm just doing what I train to do."
Yeah, well, they're not even going to say that. To them, it's like eating with a fork. Like, if you told me, here, go do a reverse layup, I get to go do it right now, and I'm not going to think it's anything special, even though you couldn't do it. Even if I say, oh yeah, you're just not an athletic guy, you can't do it, I'm not going to turn around and go, oh, see, because I can do it, I'm a special person. No, because I just realized I just have practice doing it, and it's a very simple, almost like just a routine motion now. It's nothing special. I realize it's nothing special. Yes, so. It's not like I'm curing cancer. I'm just doing a simple motion that I just practice over and over. So it just becomes like walking, really. It's like as simple as walking is to you, that is a layup to me. So the person who is announcing is speaking from this removed experience, whereas the person who's actually doing it has this totally different realization about it. And that's where there's that bridge that needs to be crossed. And this is where you can't tug the other person over. They have to do it. They have to practice. They have to come over on their own volition by themselves. They have to say, look, I don't know what the experience is. It's some unknown experience, but I have to practice. I have to find out what it's like to get that realization, to see how easy it really is. This person's telling me it's very simple, but I just did it one time and it seems so daunting to me. I need to have some realization of this, and that comes through the training. So that's what I was speaking about when I was talking to Paperclip, teaching him how to flip an egg and do this and that. And I just realized this guy just has no experience of doing this. That's why cooking the simple meal, I thought it would just be a matter of, telling him, the recipe. Like, he doesn't know how to add eggs with turkey in a pan. And I just tell him, oh, you know what you just need to do? You just need to buy eggs and buy turkey and then just combine them. So I thought just telling him the information was enough. He doesn't know what the recipe is. Now I'm giving him a good recipe and he could just take his cooking skills and do it. But he doesn't even have cooking skills. That's why the recipe is so daunting. Flipping an egg, putting a spice on top of the egg. Those are all daunting things to him because he has no frame of reference for doing those things. So he needs that realization. Yes.
Harpo's asking me if he should
Let
come
him
on
in.
to the podcast.
Alright, I'll get him in. I didn't see that he came on.
Contestant number 2.
Come on, he just sent me a message saying, hey, should I come on?
Fucking timid guy. Just tell that fag in the chat room. Dear
Welcome, Harpo.
Timid
Hi.
Harpo. Harpo, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Harpo, did you PM Boggles a timid message whether you should come on or not?
Not really. I thought, like...
That's a lie. That's a lie. Boggles just said you PM'd him a timid message asking whether you should come on or not. Now, was it not really, or was it really?
Okay, it was really.
So why did you say not really?
Because I equate PM with a forum message and not a Skype message.
Oh, Boggles. Are you playing semantics with us?
I said Skype. You didn't listen in the end. I said Skype.
Fucking Boggles. Everybody has to protect their ass. This is why they fail at social interaction. So much worry about the protection. So much fear about having the reputation tarnished at Manhood Academy. You're a student at Manhood Academy. You are scum here. You are villains. Nobody here is a superhero. Boggles. Yeah. You say that, yeah, like you know what's going on. This is why you have fucking fights in a chat room. In an internet chat room, you're fighting with people. Ridiculous. Boggles.
Yeah.
What's your excuse now?
I have to learn to deal with idiots. Because I'm an idiot myself.
God damn it, Boggles. Okay, let's move on. This is going to be a 5-hour podcast, I can tell. All right, so that's paragraph 1 down. Next one, Wolf's post to HS101. Is this did I quote it? Is that what those 2 paragraphs are?
I still can't find what you're reading, so I don't
Okay,
know.
I'm going to open the link I put there, and it's, are you not able to read the post with all the topics in it, or just that post I'm talking about?
No, I went to the bottommost post, the bottom link, and I can't find what you're reading.
Did you do a search on it, like a Control F for one of the sentences?
Okay, what's one of the sentences?
Aren't you even looking at it?
Yeah, I was.
Well, go look at it. hold on. It's not there. It must be a different thing.
Wait,
Okay.
What it is it jumps to your post. You have some valid points, but it's the one right above it, I think.
Oh, the previous page. Is that what you mean?
No, like Wolf has a post right above your post in that thread.
Okay, let's see here. Wolf has a post. Where's Wolfie? Control F, Wolf. Wolf. I have to train quieter, guys. Wolf has the most ridiculous icon. I love it. Paperclip art. Okay. Did Wolf say this somewhere? Did he say this on the page on the link that I provided? Is that what you're talking about?
No. See, I think this first one, like Pillow Fort, wrote this first paragraph with the most satisfying relationships I had was also to a Korean girl.
So this is not related to the topic link above it?
No.
Okay, that's what I was asking. All right, so let's cover these two paragraphs here. Are these two separate paragraphs? Or they go together?
Maybe. I have no clue.
Why am I asking you questions? I'm the instructor. I should know shit. Okay, let's just read it. Let's figure it out together. Let's do hands-on learning. What's interesting is that one of the most satisfying relationships I had was also to a Korean girl. We dated for 2 years, and I enjoyed every moment of it. For that same reason, I've always been wondering if I should just stick to foreign women because I've had some nice experiences with them. However, the catch is I just innately find Western women way more attractive, so that's where most of my attention goes. So I read the ebook and also wondered if it was as simple as fucking English, as simple matter as, what is he trying to say? As simple a matter as enforcing authority to offset the detrimental effects of society, unbalanced by the extreme conditioning of feminism. What the fuck is that sentence? It's garbagey. I am still finding out rather slowly because I'm a bit of a slow learner, as I found out by being here. Everybody's a slow learner. Welcome to the club. But in my experience, this place, Manhood Academy, is a great place to be if you want to learn how to govern your social... Okay, never mind. That's just fluff. Okay, so he's talking about... one of the common things I've heard before is, foreign women are much better than American women. And there's truth to that because, to a certain extent, different places on the earth have been more... are not as affected... Yes, less fucked up, not as affected by feminism, where the traditional male roles are still intact, where the male is the head of the family, the husband's the head of the household, the wife has to listen to him, etc. So there's still that dynamic at work. And in those cultures, the women are much more submissive, aka, or i.e., in other words, much more agreeable, much more pleasant to be around, much more socially skilled. And by socially skilled, I mean submissive. When a girl is not submissive, she's not socially skilled. That means she's just a bitch. So the problem here is, yes, okay, I've dated a European girl from somewhere in Europe, and yes, not only are they probably more educated than the average American girl, they are much more open about talking about sex and getting into a relationship and less bullshit, basically. And so it's refreshing. But by the same token, you got to understand that this type of mentality where, here, let me run away from this problem and I'll take my emasculation over to Japan or Europe and things will be fine and dandy. No. And I think we already covered this. I'm sure there's a podcast where I talked about my friend with this exact same scenario, but except the chick was in America, one of the most submissive girls I've ever dated. And, I have to tell her everything, what to do. And because my friend was such an emasculated pussy, after he dated her, she just went basically into a typical American bitch mode.
Wait, you dated her, then your friend dated her?
Yes, I dated her for a while, was not interested anymore. Then because he had no experience dating girls, here's a convenient person who I can now date that, I have an easy in because my friend already knows her, he knows her, so now it's easy for him to date her. So,
hey, Tom, you got any submissive girls for me?
You're my submissive girl, and we'll get to your fucking horrible MP3 very soon. Don't worry. Okay, so the point... Fucking, what was the point again? Okay, so the point is, yes, it's almost deceptive because on one hand, you're like, oh, this is so refreshing. This girl is from, Europe, and it's a totally different culture, and now all my problems are solved. No, asshole, they're not solved because you are taking your emasculation with you to Europe. You are taking your emasculation with you on your sexual tourist romp to Thailand. You are taking your emasculation wherever you go. Your emasculation is the problem. Do you realize the reason why there's so many bitches in America is because guys like Bogler are in America? Everybody here at the academy is contributing to the bitch culture you're now experiencing. This is not just some isolated incident where you're the only person talking to bitches. You know what? I talk to bitches. The majority of girls I talk to on a daily basis are bitches. I talked to this cunt in in a store I was in, and I said something like, just something not even controversial, like oh, that's a very cute sweater, or I love your hair, it's great. And she got offended, and oh my gosh, how dare you talk to me? One time I was in a mall and I was passing by a girl and I said, I said something about you're gorgeous, or I love the way you do this, or you look like this. And she said, oh my God, you don't say that to a woman. Like, just out of the blue. So why are girls like that? Why are girls bitches in America more so than other countries? Because you're a pussy. If a girl said that and you backhanded her, or you said, what the fuck are you talking about? Or you said, don't act like a bitch. You gave her your expectation. You did something to put your foot down and say, look, bitch, it's not your way, it's my way, because I'm the guy. I'm in charge. I created fucking civilization for you. I have the brain power. I have the muscle. I have the initiative. I am in charge of you. You're not in charge of me. If guys were to have that attitude, there wouldn't be a bitch culture in America. America isn't just a magical place where you just ended up here and there's just bitches around you, and suddenly if you leave the climate, it's like you've escaped the zombie plague. You are the infection. You are ground zero. You are patient zero. You are the problem, not the women. Yes. What's up?
But you're talking about I'm sure all these guys could, like, at a drop of a time, ready to smack a bitch, but you can't, since in the U.S. And
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I meant that figuratively, not literally.
Respond to those. That's what
Hold on. Let's put the warning label on for people like Boggles. We are speaking figuratively right now. Do not literally go out and smack a bitch. This is not medieval Europe. You will not be able to get away with that.
Yeah. That's the attitude you want to adopt.
The attitude is, bitch, why are you talking? I should smack you.
Right.
Yeah, my point was like guys like from other countries, when they come, like, basically learning how to get your expectation met with your words, since you can't hit anyone.
Yes, this is the difficult part.
Yeah, for me that is a very hard skill.
It is a difficult part. It's unnatural. Like, it's like talking to a child, your child, and saying, oh, I can't just spank you and cut to the point. That's the most productive thing to do, is just spank this child. They will learn very quickly to obey you. But because we live...
I think chicks getting smacked, so it is definitely very unnatural. Like, I have to really, I have to say it with my words. I can't get frustrated. I don't know.
But you wouldn't have this chick smacking culture to begin with if guys were putting their foot down. If you discipline your child, you don't have to smack them every single day. The only people who have to, they're ending up breaking their child's arm, or breaking out their teeth, are parents who are frustrated because they don't manage their expectations properly. They let problems slide, they sweep things under the rug, and then they build up with frustration, and then they just fucking explode in a fit of violence. That shows you don't know how to manage your expectations. You don't know how to wield your authority. You don't know how to punish people. Instead of punishing them when you should, you're like, oh, I don't want to make anybody feel bad, or I don't want to rock the boat. I don't know what to do. I don't want to be the bad guy. But meanwhile, all this frustration is building up because, naturally speaking, you're supposed to be in charge. You're supposed to be the guy calling the shots. You're supposed to be the one steering the ship. You're the adult. You're supposed to be taking care of the child. You should be asking the child's opinion. Hey, little kid, how should I raise you? What should I feed you for dinner? What's your opinion on this? No. You should be telling them. You should be dictating to them. This is what you need to do. And if you don't do it, I'm going to spank you. That should be your attitude. Now, it is legal to spank your children in the United States. People want to make it illegal, fucking hippies, but right now, as of now, it's still legal. So if you have a daughter, you should spank her if she gets out of line. You should set her right. But again, once you get to adulthood, the laws change. You're no longer allowed to slap a bitch. So now we have to do something unnatural, which is we have to learn how to manage our expectations. But in a sense, it isn't that unnatural, because even with men, we're managing our expectations. With students, I have to manage expectations with you. You guys don't know anything. I have to corral you in a sense. I have to limit you and restrict you, teach you about schedules, punish you when you're fucking up, and reward you when you're doing something right. And that's not, me just patting you on the back all the time or punching you in the gut when you screw up. This is sometimes it's just verbal. Or I should say, all the time it's verbal. I write a post, right? Now, if you were in the Army back in maybe the 1960s, the drill sergeant, when he was drilling you and you fucked up, he might have been able to punch you in the stomach, which would have been, I would have clapped for him like that. Good job. knock that asshole out for screwing up. But we live in a culture right now that outlaws punishment, outlaws pain. Everybody wants to alleviate pain. How can I get rid of this headache quickly? Let me get some drugs. Let me medicate myself. Let me do something, let me get some prescription Advil to deal with this pain. Everybody is so adverse to pain, to experiencing pain. Parents want to protect their children from pain. Oh, I can't let little Jimmy fall down and hurt himself. Let me get some elbow pads. Let me get a helmet for him. Kids, back when we had bikes, we rode without a fucking helmet. You ride with a helmet, we would punch you in your face. We're like, get the fuck out of here, you faggot. Get that helmet off. Let's go ride our bikes. But now what I see, like, kids who are like 23, 24 years old with fucking helmets on. Are you kidding me? Everything is, protection from pain, protection. Nobody wants to be responsible with their actions. Nobody wants to ride their bike in a responsible way so that they can, be responsible if they fall off their bike. Everybody wants to remove responsibility and put safety precautions everywhere. So instead of you learning how to not be an asshole and learning how not to electrocute yourself, we now have to put these fucking labels on plugs that say, warning, asshole, if you stick your finger in the socket or, you put this plug on your tongue and hold it next to, open water and then plug it in, you're going to fucking electrocute yourself, or this person will get a lawsuit if they don't have that tag on there. That is the asshole tag. That is the asshole culture we live in now, where everybody else is expected to bear responsibility for you. It's an infantile society we're living in right now. Yes, sir. What did you want? Boggles.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Anybody else?
Fuck! God damn it, Boggles.
I was listening to what you said.
Yeah, why did you fucking interrupt me? Plum. Oh, me? Oh, me? Fucking Boggles. What do you want, Boggles? Now that you interrupted me.
Fuck, you spoke so much I even forgot about my point, dude. Like, I got caught up in what you were discussing, and I was like, oh, yeah.
See, the danger of listening to you is, like, 10% of the time you have something valid and awesome, and I'm like, oh, thanks for contributing that. But the other 90%, you fucking list some totally irrelevant thing, and then I fucking get derailed and don't get to finish my awesome point.
Oh, yeah, now I remember what it is. Like, towards the end, I didn't want to say it. Like, the bike thing, I was like, just let you go on. Like, said Plum, and then...
No, let's hear it now. Now we gotta hear what we're gonna stop for. Potentially I was gonna derail my point to hear what?
Well, no, I guess for your analogy, you're saying, like, you don't need bike helmets now, but then I think times have changed now, we have cars. But then for your example...
yeah, so if you had said that fucking dipshit point, it was totally irrelevant to the point I was making, I would have been so flabbergasted, I would have fucking slammed the computer shut and ended the podcast.
Exactly, so that's why I was like, forget it.
It was a good gamble. Like, playing with you is like going to Vegas. I gotta fucking gamble of whether I should let you interrupt me or not.
Well, I had to gamble with myself and think whether I should have interrupted or not, and in this case, I decided not to.
The great thing about you is you keep going forward. That's the awesome thing about you that's changed. Whereas I think before you would have been like, oh, I said something bad. I'm worthless. Forget it. Life's over. Whereas now, you get corrected, you go forward. You'll fuck up again, guaranteed, but you still keep going forward. The difference is balls, which is also shocking because they're not fully formed yet, and we'll find out in this upcoming recording you made with your sweetheart.
Because I don't want to lose girls.
What's that?
Because I don't want to... I'm still scared to lose a girl, so my balls are...
you don't have the girl. Fuck. All right. Anyway, did we cover this enough? Did anybody want to add anything to that? Blue, you fall asleep already?
No, but
I was just mesmerized by the whole conversation. I completely just don't have anything to say at all.
He's baffled into silence. Blue, what were you saying?
I did want to mention something. You were talking about earlier.
Yes.
You talk to bitches and cunts on a daily basis.
Yes.
And sometimes I get confused because what we're taught is women are responders. And
yes.
If a man comes up to a woman and he initiates an interaction, why is it that she would respond in a negative way and not in a positive way in what we would want?
Well, there's a lot of different little factors at work here. For instance, really speaking, you shouldn't have to initiate a conversation with a total stranger, like a woman who's just a stranger on the street. Number one, if it was a functional society, she wouldn't be allowed out by herself. Yeah. She would be chaperoned by somebody. Women are irresponsible. They dress irresponsibly. They say irresponsible things. They're children. It's like letting your children go out on a freeway. Would you, if you had a kid who was 5 years old, would you say, oh, go ahead. You and me are the same. We're the same maturity level. You go ahead and play on the freeway and just come back at 6 for dinner. Would you do that?
I can attest to that because sometimes when I approach like Indian girls who are in the street, they give me the worst reaction because to them it's like, why is a stranger talking to me? Like, whereas an American girl is much more like.
That's irrelevant to the point, Boggles. Just quiet for a second. Okay, so.
It was relevant. I just didn't phrase it properly.
Fucking Boggles always wants to derail the podcast every single time. Okay, so the point. God damn it! What was the point? Boggles, fucking Boggles.
Like leaving your children, you don't let
Something
Yes.
about not letting your children in the
Thank
freeway.
you, thank you, God. Somebody's paying attention. Okay, so you wouldn't let your child play on the freeway. You wouldn't let Boggles play on the freeway because he's so fucking immature. He'd get run over. You would chaperone him. There's no way you'd let him out of your sight. This is what would happen in a functional society with women. And this is what happened in the past. Men would chaperone them, or men would give them permission to go places or do things. They would have to have male permission and male guidance and male chaperoning, protection, because they cannot protect themselves. If you look at society today, who protects women? Men do, in the form of the police state. Police officers out there. But without police officers, if men just decided, fuck it, I'm not going to protect you. Fuck you, you're not giving me sex, you're not giving me anything back in return. I'm going to protect myself. Guess what would happen? Women would be forced to rely on men. It would go back to a functional state because now they couldn't complain and go, oh, you're doing something I don't like. I'm going to go tell the police. I'm going to go tell somebody, my mom. I'm going to go tell my dad. I'm going to go tell so-and-so who is a man, basically. Let me tell another man. Well, guess what? If men stop saying, nope, you're not allowed to tell me anything anymore, they would have to come with a totally different attitude because they would soon realize, I am defenseless. I am living in a fucking Disney movie that says, oh, I am Lara Croft Tomb Raider. I am Charlize Theron. I could kick ass on anybody. I am, who's Brad Pitt's wife? Fucking Angelina
Jolie.
I am Angelina Jolie. I will shoot you from 2 miles away with a sniper rifle, right? All this bullshit. When we just saw a video of Jill Mills, the world's strongest woman, get beat by 3 average guys, or 2 out of 3, I should say. The first guy was a puss, but the other 2 guys came through and just fucking, and she looked even bigger than them. She was fucking yoked. But you could see, naturally speaking, guys, obviously stronger than women. If these average guys are stronger than the strongest woman in the world, well, guess what? Women are not cut out to be men. It does not happen. So, you have a totally different culture right now. You have an artificial culture. This is an artificial culture we're living in. So, women right now, I mean, how they dress. They dress so responsibly. Women know exactly what the fuck they're doing. They grow up and they realize, oh, if I wear this dress that has no form to it, people don't get to see my ass. So I don't get free tickets to a concert. I don't get free drinks. I don't get free this. I don't get free that. I don't get that much attention. Oh, but if I noticed when, the girls around me, my friends and peers are all wearing these leggings, I notice I get more attention. Oh, I notice now guys are staring at my ass. Oh, now I get free drinks. Now I get free dinners. Now I get free this. I get free that. I get access to places. I get favors done for me. Oh, it's all free. It's all free. They don't expect anything. They're just giving it to me because they like me, right? Wrong. See, this is how irresponsible girls are. They are using their sexuality to manipulate men. Women aren't taught to go, oh, use your ass, to shake your ass. Some are, but a majority aren't. They realize it through, experience. Oh, they're getting attention for their tits or this or that, right? Why do women get fake tits? For attention, for favors, for access to things. Why do women wear makeup? Why do women do their hair? Why do women wear tight clothing?
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
So I have a sister who has fake tits.
Yes.
And she's married. And
she's married to a pussy. That's why she has fake tits.
That was because I heard her say, I'm satisfied with the way you are. But then the first thing I was thinking was, she's not getting tits for you. She's getting tits for other guys.
Hey, there you go. She's getting tits for attention. If you're not able to manage your relationship, you're basically negating your authority. You're saying, okay, this is no longer a relationship. Guess what it is? It's a democracy. The opposite of a relationship is a democracy. A functional relationship is a dictatorship. Do you realize this? The guy is in charge. That is a functional relationship. That is why women are attracted to guys who are in charge. You realize this. There's a visceral reaction. It's like when I give my dog a bone, or when I give my dog kibble, he likes it. He's like, I like the kibble. But when I give him a raw chicken bone or a raw, fish bone or some kind of bone of an animal, if you try to take that bone away from him, he growls. He'll try to bite your hand. So you see there's a visceral reaction to when that thing fits that person, or when that thing fits that animal, when that animal is doing something functional, there's a fitting, and there's a response that verifies that. The response that verifies that dogs are not meant to eat little round manufactured balls of food, little grain manufactured food. The evidence that they're meant to eat raw meat is that when you give a dog a raw piece of meat, he will fight you to keep that meat, to keep that bone. So now you see a totally different response. You're like, oh, see, there's the testimonial that says this is a functional state for this dog to be in. The same with women. Women can like guys who are nice to them. If you do favors for them, if you get them things, if you treat them well, that's great. A woman will like you. She'll appreciate you. Maybe she'll even love you, right? But there's not that visceral, loving reaction like a guy who is in charge. You will not get her panties as wet. You will not attract her as much if you are a guy who doesn't know how to be in charge. If you're a guy who's not in charge, you will be an option. You will be like a good guy. You will be a good guy to her who she likes. But there's another guy over here who she could also like because you're an option. Right now, I have a bitch who is calling me nonstop. She's in a relationship with a guy she likes. She always tells me, oh, but I love my boyfriend. I love this guy. Well, guess what? What do I always say about her boyfriend? He's a fag. He's a pussy. He's emasculated. He doesn't know what he's doing. If she really loved him, would she stand for that? Fuck no. She would call me day after day. Why is she
be talking to you, period?
She would be talking to me, period, if she loved this guy. So, regardless of what she says, her actions betray what's really going on. She likes me because I am able to say no to her. I am able to set limits on her. So, you need to provide for a girl. That will make her appreciate you. But, to get that deep-seated love, you have to be able to say no to a woman. That is the love that makes a woman jealous over who you're talking to. If you just provide for her, you're going to be jealous if she's talking to other guys. You're going to be worried about her cheating, etc. You're not going to have the experience. You're not going to have the point of reference. It's like flipping that egg. Remember, it goes back to flipping that egg. Most guys can't even fathom what it's like to have a girl jealous over them talking to another guy. They're always like, oh, my girl's talking to some other guy. I hope she doesn't cheat on me and dump me. Because they have the experience like this relationship could go at any time. Like I was in a relationship before with a girl and she dumped me. She said she got bored or the relationship was getting old or whatever bullshit excuse. Girls give all these stupid excuses. When there's really only one excuse. You are emasculated. You have no balls to tell her no. So you're a nice guy. You may be perfectly fine. You don't beat her. You don't do anything bad to her. You just give her whatever she wants. You're on call 100% of the time. You're always there for her. Guess what? You're fucking optional. She may say, oh, I love you, but she doesn't really love you. You're optional. Until you could put your foot down and say no, you have no realization of what it's like for a girl to really love you, to really be jealous over you. I have that experience. That's why I know there's a huge world of difference between just going, honey, I got you a diamond ring. Honey, I pay for your dinner. Honey, I'm there for you when you're sad. And don't fucking do that because I told you not to do that. There's a huge world of difference between saying, here's what I got you, and here's what you're not allowed to do. Here's what I'm not going to tolerate. Here's what you're not supposed to, you're never allowed to do around me. Here's what you need to be doing. Here's what you are going to do because I told you to do it, because I'm in charge of the relationship. When you can do that, that girl, her fucking panties are going to be soaking thinking about you. That sex is going to be different sex. Guys don't realize this. They just think, oh, I put my cock in her, right? It's just sex. There's a difference in sex, in a visceral reaction. Like, that dog craving that bone. Guess what? Girls have that visceral pussy reaction. When you're in charge and you have authority, their pussy gets so much wetter. They get so much more turned on. But if you've never been able to tell a girl no, you don't have that realization. It's a foreign concept to you. It's impossible. It's an impossibility. So this is what this guy doesn't realize right now. He just thinks, oh, if I just go to another country, all my problems are solved because the women are nicer over there. The women are better than American women. It's just a cultural thing. No. It's you. You are a pussy. You are emasculated. You don't know how to set boundaries on a woman. You don't know how to limit and restrict her behavior. That's why they don't love you. That's why they're not submissive. That's why they act like bitches in the first place. If you were to say you're not allowed to act like a bitch, guess what? They would be so submissive and sweet and gentle, you would swear they were from Europe. You would say, oh, where'd you find this girl? I wish I could find a girl like that. And you'd go, guess what? I didn't find her. I made her. She's that way because I trained her to be that way. I teach my girlfriends, hey, if you're talking, Bogler was there when I had one of my girlfriends over and she said something, or they were got in a fight or something, and I said, look, Boggles is a total asshole and he was in the wrong here. but you don't fucking disrespect one of my students. And she was putting up a fight. I said, get the fuck out if you're going to do that. I drew the line. Boggle saw it as a student. Guess what happened? She walked out. She came back. Apologetic, different attitude. Why? Because I put my fucking foot down. Why does she want to have sex with me more than I want to have sex with her? Why does she want to have sex like 3 fucking times, 4 fucking times a day? Even more than that. More than I can handle. My cock is worn out. Why? Because she's turned on by my authority. If I was just a nice guy, if I was like the guy I took her from previously, who was fucking begging her on the phone and is talking to her like a total mangina. If you had heard one of the conversations, I overheard one of the conversations she was having with him. It was like 2 chicks talking.
Oh man, what was he? I need to hear. What were the type of things he was saying?
Well, he was just talking about, well, you treat me this way and you don't do this, and I want to really work on a relationship, and I think we need to do this and this, and it's always optional. Maybe we should. You treat me this way, you make me feel bad. You make me all these, all these passive things. You're doing this to me. You're making me feel bad. You're not telling me the truth. You're doing this. You're doing that. When you should be doing this, you should be doing. It's like all suggestions. Everything is optional. There's no line drawn. There's no authority. So what is she doing? Well, she's fucking me doggy style. Well, I'm fucking her doggy style, and she's on the phone with him, and she's telling me, this was the greatest thing. She was supposed to. They were having some problems obviously having some problems in the relationship, and she said, "Oh, I want you to check in with me on the cell phone." And she was supposed to check in, so she was in the wrong. But because he's such a pussy, she was able to turn it around and go, "Why are you being so controlling and abusive to me?" And he's got to backpedal and apologize, and she's making excuses. I just wanted to get a break, so I just stopped by the road just to catch my breath and just to relax because I had such a stressful day. And here you are complaining at me. I'm trying to do everything for you. So she's fucking lying through her teeth to this guy while I'm banging her.
Why was happening?
Literally banging her.
Wow.
This is how these guys are.
Well, I'm doing work.
I was putting work in while this is going on.
After this podcast, when we all have girlfriends or when we get girlfriends, we're not going to trust them at all. I mean,
again, you don't trust them because you don't know what it's like to put your foot down. I hear that all the time. And guys say, well, I was in this relationship and, you can't trust girls because this one cheated on me and another one said they were doing this and they cheated on me. So the conclusion is I can't trust girls. Guess what? Do I ever worry about my girl going out and talking to another guy or this or that? Do you think I have the same concern you have about cheating? Because I hear it all the time and I read it all the time on forums. Well, she did this. You can't trust a girl. Do I have that same concern? Blue?
No, because it's more an issue of, it's not trusting the girl. You have, the person you really have to trust is yourself.
What?
Yeah? Well, constant is yourself. You're the one that is making the situation.
Yeah, shut up. Who else was over there? Blue. Do you know why I don't have to worry about a girl cheating or why I don't have that concern?
Well, you don't have that concern because you have the authority in the relationship. But I want to be a little bit more clear about that.
No. Anybody else have the right answer?
Plum, I'm your girlfriend right now, and I'm saying, Plum, I'm gonna go out with my girlfriends, and we're gonna go to the club tonight. It's her birthday. We want to celebrate.
Right.
What are you gonna say?
It depends. Do I want her to go to the club and celebrate with her girlfriend? Or no?
Okay. I guess it just depends on what you...
Right. The reason why you even have this question is what I'm trying to answer your question right now. The reason why you even have this question. Does anybody know why I don't have the same concern as Blue? Why I don't have to go, after hearing this, I gotta worry about girls cheating on me.
Because
your expectations always take priority over hers, no matter the case.
Nick, do you have the answer? Or should I say Boggles?
The other guys out there are emasculated.
No. That knowledge is helpful, but that is not ultimately why I don't worry about that or why that's not concerned.
She is in love with the fact that you put your foot down and you've seen her, how she reacts to that.
Yes, I have a realization. I flipped the egg. I know what it's like to turn a girl on. I know what it's like to have this reaction that these guys don't have, that they don't get from the girl. You realize I've never been in a relationship where I was like, I'm not getting enough sex. I just wish I was getting more sex. How often do you hear guys talking about, my fucking wife isn't giving me sex, my girlfriend isn't giving me sex. I only have it once a week or something like that. Some bullshit answer.
All the time.
You see it on sitcoms where guys are saying,
it's always,
I might have sex tonight, bro, I'm so lucky. And
right, I gotta go fucking jack off because my wife won't give it to me or something. Some bullshit answer like that.
Yeah.
You realize...
They feel lucky to get it.
Yes. Do you realize I haven't had that problem and I've dated different girls? Do you think I'm just the luckiest guy in the world and I've just hit jackpot with each of these girls? They just happen to all be sexual?
No. I used to think that.
I have a realization. I had a girlfriend. I would bang her. She called me up. Hey, I was thinking about banging you. I had another girlfriend. Bang her. Everything. I have another girlfriend. She gives me too much. I have another girlfriend who was, I didn't see her that much, but when we did, I got my sexual needs met. So I've never had a girlfriend where I was like, honey, I just wish we had more sex. If her vagina's sore or her ass is out of business, she's got a mouth. Right? I expect to have access to that. I'm not going to date a girl who's not going to give me a blowjob. So, for these guys complaining about not getting their sexual expectations met, they're the same guys who are in a democracy. They're not in a relationship. A relationship is a dictatorship. It is not a democracy. If you were to go, hey, let's have a democracy with my children. Kids, let's vote on what we're going to do, where we're going to send you to school, how many days you even go to school, what time you wake up for school, what you eat for dinner, what punishment you're going to have if you cause problems, where we're going to go for a reward. You'd be broke, the child would be dead, etc. It'd be the worst case scenario of things happening.
I have another concern. Let's say Boggles gets into a relationship tomorrow, and he loves this girl. He's head over heels for her. Should his dictatorship supersede his incentive? Because now
his incentive? What does that mean? Speak English.
Well, I get what he's saying. Like, for example, right now I've been slacking off. I don't really give that girl that much incentive when I talk to her, but I'm still holding up my expectations. So,
well, number one, we're going to see you don't enforce your expectations. So when you talk about enforcing your expectations, that's bullshit. You don't even know what it's like to force your expectations. So that's problem number one.
Okay.
It's delusional thinking. Oh, I'm doing this. No, you're not fucking doing that. You don't even post a report about it. How do we know you're doing it? Students are so fucking delusional. They think they're doing this right. They have no clue they're doing it wrong. And how do we know they're doing it wrong? Well, we don't know because we don't even have a fucking EM report. So a lot of the problem is just student retardation. Like I told you, if you're a student here at Manhood Academy, if you're here a student at Cat Academy, you're a retard. You're just full of stupid assumptions. Your question, Blue, is just like, well, let's say I was over a volcano in a helicopter hanging over the edge, and I was trying to pull a blue Smurf out of the volcano. Should I use a rope with a nylon or with natural thread cord? It's a ridiculous question because it's all based on a false premise of you even flying over a volcano, of Smurfs even existing. You haven't even examined all of these other fallacies that are contributing to your problem. It's not just this one issue. With you, it's always, oh, what about just this one situation? You haven't realized yet, it's not situational. The ebook says that. You haven't learned it yet. You have no realization of that yet. With you, it's still situation by situation. Oh, if I just get in this good situation, everything's going to work out. I've just been in bad situations. So, Plum, let me ask you about situation by situation, case by case. And then if you give me the right answer, I'll just know what to do in that case and the problem will be solved. No. You are deaf. Hard of hearing. Stubborn. No experience. No realization. You are not enforcing your expectations. That's why we need examples. That's why I'm making a film right now. I'm trying to gather common arguments that guys make with women. I'm trying to gather video clips of guys arguing with women. I know I'm going to find very few where they do it right, but at least I'm going to find a lot of examples where they're going to do it wrong. And maybe you guys can start relating to real life examples and saying, oh, I do that too. And that, I thought I was doing it right. That's wrong. I want you to see these things in real life so you can kind of have a sense of what it's like to do it the right way and do it the wrong way. Because a lot of you guys have no idea what that's like, even though it's outlined in the ebook, and I try to give you examples. I've tried to record calls with girls, and you still don't understand what it's like to enforce your expectations. And we're going to see that in Bogler's. Let's just get the Bogler's example right now. Let's fucking get to it.
Well, this is the thing. Even when you're giving us examples on the podcast, how you're talking to women, and ultimately, if you didn't get your expectations met, you would say, I didn't provide her enough incentive.
Okay, so there's the incentive side too.
We're like, wow, man, we thought you were providing enough incentive. You were doing like 99% of the talking, and she was just,
Yes, there's incentive there.
So for us, it is like that mountain. It's like, man, how the fuck can you not get an expectation, man? And, he thought he was doing just great.
Okay, here's the thing. There is incentive in that I am leading, okay? I am giving her a stimulating conversation. I am I am stimulating her with me initiating things, me sharing things, versus me saying, what should we talk about? Or putting the burden on her, making it her responsibility to come up with a conversation, or her responsibility to tell me what to do, to stimulate me. I'm the one stimulating her. And a lot of stimulating is just leading. It's just knowing what your expectations are, right? And that's the direction you're going in. If you have an expectation, you're trying to get that met. That's going to help you fill in the blanks for how you should stimulate somebody. For instance, if we're planning a trip, well, that's part of our stimulation. That's our destination. So now it's how to get there. That is all involved in the stimulation. So if we're going to Disneyland, well, now we got to figure out how we're going to get money to get there. We got to figure out transportation. I've got to look it up maybe and see what Disneyland is like if I even want to go there. And maybe I'll talk about the rides and things that are cool there. So all these things that I am initiating are stimulating the other person. It's because I'm taking the responsibility to give them the experience. And then the other part of stimulating, which a lot of you guys haven't realized yet because you don't practice it enough, is conveying your reactions to things. Look at how much I'm talking. I'm giving you my reactions to my experiences. This is why you're learning something. Imagine if I just said, to take care of, to have a good relationship, you just need to be in charge. Am I wrong?
Nope.
No, I'm right. But is that helpful to you?
Nope. We don't know
No.
what that means.
What does that mean to be in charge, right? People say in charge all the time. They mean like 20 different things. So unless I'm able to articulate that reaction to my experience, you don't get any benefit out of it. You're not stimulated by just, hey, be in charge. That is not stimulating to you. You've heard that before from other people. You can look that up online. But if I say, hey, be in charge means to exercise your authority in this way. Here's X, Y, and Z example. Here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to avoid. Here's what you shouldn't do. Here's how to do it. I'm going to give you examples right here. Here's me exercising my authority over here. Now you are stimulated because you are getting something of my reaction. You're put into my world. You get to experience what I'm experiencing. That is stimulating. That is what you don't have practice with. Bringing somebody into your experience. It's not just a matter of obey me. Isn't that giving somebody my expectation when I say obey me?
Because you're not telling them what to do.
No, isn't that giving my expectation to somebody when I say obey me, Harpo?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. But what does that mean? Is that Is that stimulating to you when I say obey me? Does that turn you on?
No.
Why not?
I mean,
when I say, hey, Harpo, obey me, does that turn you on? Do you like hearing that?
No.
What does it sound like to you?
How do I obey you?
Well, what does that sound like to you when I say, Harpo, obey me?
Sounds like it just says it sounds like do what I say, but you're not saying it.
How do you feel about that? When I just say obey me?
It feels directionless.
No, how does it feel to you when you hear somebody say that?
It feels rude.
It feels rude, right? Just do what the fuck I tell you.
Same experience I get from the French girl every time that's
right.
How I sound.
Okay, shut up. It sounds demanding. It sounds rude. It sounds, it's a disincentive when I just say obey me. But isn't that what I want? Isn't that a good expectation to have? Yes, right? Okay, so now tell me the difference between saying obey me and what if I say, hey, Harpo, you need to listen to what I'm saying because I'm going to help you get girls. I'm going to teach you how to interact with your peers and people around you so you can form great relationships with them. So I need you to shut the fuck up and listen to me and do exactly what I tell you to do so you'll get a benefit from it. You'll learn things. You'll have a better life. You'll enjoy your time on the podcast. You'll like talking to me. What's the difference between that and saying obey me? Am I saying the same thing?
Yeah, but here's the problem. Aren't you justifying yourself by doing that as well?
You don't think a justification is required or is wrong? You're not allowed to justify yourself?
It's required only if they're ready to listen, but a lot of times the girl is not ready to listen.
Well, what did we talk about already in the beginning? When if the girl isn't ready to listen, why would you even be talking to her then? You make no sense with your. I mean, if the girl isn't listening to you, how would you even be talking to her in the first place?
Well, I mean, like her attitude is not in line, and you're trying to put her in check, and then.
Well, how did you even get to that point though?
Well,
obviously you had to attract her, right, to get to somewhere where you're talking to her. So,
some initial attraction. Yes.
So obviously you aren't doing a good job of it. What you call initial attraction, then.
I'm not. I'm definitely. Not.
What is initial attraction to you? Hey, I like you. Here, give me your number. Oh, she's attracted because she gave me her number and we're on a date. That's not attraction. That's convenience.
Yeah.
If I give a girl a soda and teddy bear from the fair, and I listen to her problems when she calls me, and she tells me, hey, I like you a lot. Is she attracted?
No.
How do you know?
Because that is the kind of experience I get.
Yes.
So
It sounds like attraction. She said, yeah, because you're listening to the girl. You're listening to the child in this case. You're an adult going, oh, you know what? Maybe it would be a good idea if we just have a big chocolate cake for dinner. It sounds like a healthy idea. The kid said it was healthy. It said he really like it better than vegetables and it'd be really good for him. Yeah, that sounds like a bright idea. But then we see the kid get sick. And we go, oh, from experience, that's a bad idea. So when we hear a girl go, oh, I like you a lot. I really like you. You're my favorite guy. Oh, but wait, this other guy, he called me today and I like him better now. Bye. What did you learn?
She wasn't really attracted.
Yes. When she said, I like you, that was bullshit. But because you're a retard, now you're repeating that to me. But she said, I liked you. And what do I tell you? What do her actions say? I don't care what she said. I say, what did her actions say? Is she still with you? Does she want to fuck you? Does she want to call you? No. Okay. Well, then obviously you didn't attract her. So that is the problem. You're telling me things. You're so fucking clueless. I tell you to post a fucking EM report. I could tell you right pinpoint specifically where you're not attracting her. But you're telling me, oh no, I'm doing it right. Just believe me, Plum. This is why I don't trust students. I trust their actions, not their fucking. Plum, I'm going to do a schedule. You're going to see. I'm going to turn it all around. Yeah, you're like a chick to me. I don't fucking trust you. I don't believe you. You're a little kid telling me something. Oh, I'm going to fly. Plum, I'm going to fly today. Yeah, good for you. Fuck off.
Watch me, Papa. Watch me one day.
You fly and then I'll believe it. Until then, fuck off, right? Don't tell me that nonsense. I don't care to hear it. It's such a fucking insult when students say, oh, I'm gonna improve today. Plum, I've turned it all around. I shouldn't say that now students will be so scared they say anything to Plum. Oh, Plum, I've insulted Plum. I can't talk anymore. Keep telling me you're going to fly. Okay, just keep doing it. I don't care. I'm going to turn the schedule. Hey, man, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to overcome. Yeah, good luck. Look, I care about what you do when you listen to what I tell you to do. Like if I tell you to make a schedule and I actually see you make a schedule because you fucking posted it, then I go, yay, I praise you. Good job. I pat you on the back because you did it, not because you told me you were going to do it. If a girl goes, I like you, what do I want from that? I want you to suck my cock. Prove it. If my cock is not getting sucked, what do I know? You don't like me.
Ooh. I'm going to use that.
It's very simple. If you are getting your needs met, that person likes you. A person who likes you will try to meet your needs. If your needs are not getting met, they don't like you. It's very simple. So we need to find out where the problem is. The problem is with you. How do we know it's you? Because you don't fucking post an EM report, so we don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, Plum, I attracted her, but I'm in stage 2, C4, step 7, and I'm just having problems here. But everything else is fine. Should I trust Bogle's assessment of his social interaction skills?
No.
I know it's my fault. I do know.
No, you don't know. If you knew it was your fault, why would you be asking me the fucking question in the first place?
Forgot what I asked them.
Yeah, obviously. You see how fucking delusional and incoherent you are? Yeah, I know that. The only reason you said I know that is because you don't want to appear stupid. I already think you're stupid. But here you are going, oh no, Plum, I knew that. That's why I asked that stupid question 2 seconds ago that contradicted exactly what I just claimed to have known.
Alright. Okay, I have another question.
Yes.
So let's say you're fucking a girl. You guys are having sex, and she tells you she loves you, but you want to fuck her in the ass, and she doesn't want you to fuck her in the ass.
Retard, have you been listening to what we've been saying? No, you have not been listening. What did I tell you your problem was? What did I tell you your problem was?
Well, my problem was...
What did I tell you your problem was?
That I don't listen?
Yes, you just proved my point. You are not listening. You were talking about fucking an ass with an invisible girlfriend. How are you going to fuck an invisible girlfriend in the ass? You were talking about past experiences. You were talking about a girlfriend you did not keep. You know how I knew you weren't in charge? When she came to the gate and you said, come over here in the water. And she gave you X, Y, and Z excuses for why she's not going to come over there. It's the fucking come in the water. If you're in charge, she's getting in the fucking water. That's all I needed to know. I don't need to know about any ass fucking stories now. I already know you're not in charge. I already know the attraction isn't there. I don't need to ask you. I don't need to go any further. I don't need to go into situation X, Y, Z like you do because I just told you I don't look at situations. What do I look at, Blue?
You look at the totality. You just care about your expectations, and that's it.
I am looking at whether you are following the principles of social competence. If you are exercising authority, it doesn't matter what she says. She will fall in love. Obviously, you are not punishing properly, so she is not in love. It just appears that way because you're clueless. You're like most guys, you have no experience. Most guys when they get divorced, women initiate like 75% of divorces now. When the woman initiates a divorce, it's, honey, I'm divorcing you. Is it, oh, I knew that? The guy's saying, oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen, right? Is that what guys say?
No, they're shocked.
No, they're like, oh, what the fuck? I thought it was great. I thought it was great too. Just last week we went on vacation. She kissed me. It was so awesome. And she loves me, right? Was she meeting your needs? No. But she told me she loves me. Yeah, asshole. That's why she's fucking somebody else. This is why Blue will keep asking stupid situational questions and not pull his head out of his asshole and listen to the answer. The answer is not about your situation. Once you learn that, you will realize how stupid your question is. The answer is not about a situation.
Tom, like when I talk to Blue, I have to repeat the same thing over and over, and I can't get my situation.
Hey, Boggles, when I talk to you, I haven't stopped repeating the same thing over and over and over. So what do I care about that?
Acceptance.
Fucking Boggles. Hey, Plum, I know something about Blue that's bad. Let me raise my hand. Fucking Boggles. Let's hear how brilliant Boggles is. Let's get right into it. Here we go. This is Boggles and his French girlfriend. And we gotta skip to...
I think it's 9:30 your time, Plum.
Oh, fuck. Okay, we gotta... How are we gonna do this quick? God damn it. Okay, we're gonna have to do this in under 15 minutes, so let's get to it. Okay, so this is Boggles. Here's the setup. He's talking to his French girlfriend, and he's calling her specifically to, quote, quote, lay down the law, to let her know he's in charge. Let's see if Boggles does it correctly. Let's see if Boggles, what he was saying on the podcast earlier, was in sync with his actual experience. Okay, so there's a lot of silence. Awesome.
The first 1 minute is Kelly, so.
Volume low, or are you speaking low?
Okay, here we go. We're at minute 47.
Hold on, okay, I increased my volume.
Pause. The Indians are working out the volume problem. All right, here we go.
Oh my god, what is this noise?
Wait a second,
It's okay, increase my volume.
Wait a second, just a second.
Yeah, sure.
They're working out the volume problem.
Okay, yeah, fix it.
Can you hear me like this?
Yeah.
How come?
I don't know.
I didn't know there was a mic.
Okay, so we're at minute 124 now. Hold on, it's gonna get better. Hold on.
There should be a mic in the laptop.
Is it clear?
Yeah, we're Indian. What do you expect?
They're fucking talking to each other. They can hear each other, and they're still asking, all right, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, here we go. It's still going. Oh, fuck, I reverted back. Please go back to the same mark. God damn it.
There should be a mic in the laptop.
Okay, there's a mic in the laptop. Right.
So,
What is it?
So, you said you'll come online in the morning and you slept off?
I know. I slept off and my phone also no charge.
Okay.
So, you said you're going to come online in the morning, and you didn't come online. What's that? What is that, Harpo? Harpo, what is that when you go, oh, so you came online in the morning, and then you didn't come online? What is that, Harpo?
Justification.
Okay, what's going on there? What's the problem? What should he be doing if he has a problem? Actually, forget it. You can't even talk right now because we don't even know the context. Let's go in a little further, and then we'll go for some questions. Okay, got some more waffling.
So, yeah, I read your email.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I read the email, yeah. Okay, it's getting juicy. Hold on, so we're almost there.
And?
Oh, yeah, I have a point. I just didn't want to say that. So, I read your email. And she's like, what the fuck? Say something. And? His bottle's gonna get to the point. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I don't like you lecturing me.
Mm-hmm.
Understand?
I don't like you lecturing me. Understand? Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, based on your feelings, whatever, I don't want you to give me a big lecture.
Okay.
Okay.
And also no arguing.
And actually, I don't want to keep talking about your
And world peace? Any other demands? This looks like a hostage situation here. Okay, keep going.
parents either.
So, I don't want to talk to your parents?
I want to talk about your parents.
Hold on, let's get back here.
And actually, I don't want to keep talking about your parents either.
What do you mean?
I mean, we should be talking about other things, not going on talking about your parents.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay?
Yeah.
Alright. And when you act like a girl, I like it. I don't like, I'm like you telling me lectures, telling me this, telling me, oh.
Harper. Harper. Hey, Ron Harper. Hey, Ron Harper.
Yeah.
When I say, hey, I don't like you telling lectures, is that clear to you? That you don't lecture me? Or what am I saying?
You're basically turning this into like a therapist session. You're not punishing me. You're just saying.
No, I don't even know what the fuck that means. I don't like telling lectures. No arguments. What does that mean when I say no arguments, Harpo? It means 5 trillion different things. It means nonsense. What if I told you, Harpo, hey, Harpo, don't cause problems at the academy?
All right.
Is the problem solved?
No.
What's the problem?
I don't even know what you mean by
Exactly. This is Bogler. No lectures. No problems. No arguments. Okay? Cool? We cool? Alright, cool. I'm in charge now, right? Cool. No parents. We don't talk parents, okay? Cool. Alright. Every problem solved, right? The only way this problem is going to be solved is if this girl is a professional mind reader. Bogler is more of a girl than him because girls are notorious for doing this, saying something like, oh, and they'll just come to you. And then Billy said this thing to me, and I was like, why does Billy say that? He's so mean, huh? Billy's mean, huh? And you're like, who the fuck is Billy? What are you talking about? Because girls are so self-absorbed, they think you could see into their mind. They think you should be privy to all the context they're talking about and should know exactly what they're saying. This is Boggles. He thinks this girl's a mind reader. He's just like a chick going, you should know what I mean. Don't cause problem. Don't argue. And no parents. And no lectures. Right? Perfectly crystal clear.
Oh, you don't know what? I don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
No more bad things from you. I don't want to hear it. Okay? Alright, cool.
I'm not your brother. You should, I mean, if you want to clarify something.
I'm not your brother, okay? Harpo, what if I said, hey, Harpo, no more problems out of you. I'm not your brother. What does that mean?
It means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I might as well say Harpo. Banana, chicken, apple, turkey. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah,
So
cool.
whatever you say, man.
All right, whatever you say. All right, you're the boss. You're in charge. I also like how Bogler says, clarify. I gotta hear this again. This is comedy. This is a good point here.
I'm not your brother.
I'm not
your brother. You should, I mean, if you want to clarify something, you should do it with, you better be very respectful.
If you want to clarify something, Harpo, you should be very respectful. Okay?
Right.
That's how you clarify. Got it?
I got it. So respect is the thing where, like,
I don't know. It could be apple, banana, orange, automobile. I don't know what the fuck is going on, Harpo. I have no idea what I just said to you. I have no idea what Bogler is saying to me. I feel like a cat is having an MP3 moment right here. Like, this is a cat recording this.
You want some concern? Hey, I think you're not like scolding me like I'm your brother or something. Nah.
Yeah, okay.
She's so expressive. She just agrees to this nonsense. Don't scold me. Yeah, okay. All right, problem solved. Right?
Maybe it's a dialect of English that only Indians
Because
understand.
if you don't have the respectful attitude, it's not going to work.
Well, if you don't, hold on, I gotta go back on this. I missed some.
Respect for the attitude is not going to work. Is that what he just said?
He said respect the attitude. Hold on, let me, this is some key Indian phrase here, some Indian idiom. Let's see.
Because if you don't have the respectful attitude, it's not going to work.
Mm.
She's like, Did she, like she was worried or nervous or she was getting stabbed? I don't have no idea what the context is for any of this.
I've never heard a chick grunt before.
Get,
Okay, I don't want,
wait, hold on. I heard a d and a I'm not sure if these are Indian words or grunts. So I gotta go back here and see.
If you don't have the respectful attitude, it's not going to work.
Respect for the arju.
It's acknowledging.
D-
Yeah, I don't want to keep repeating this either.
I don't want to keep repeating this. Yeah, I don't want you to repeat it either. What the fuck are you repeating? Holy fuck. I don't know if I can handle any more of this. Hold on. Let's go for just a couple more
I'd
seconds.
rather have a good time talking to you. Yeah, if you have some concern, bring it up, but
Like,
be
yeah.
respectful when you do it. Like, hey, not hey, like.
Harpo, if I said, hey, Harpo, I want you to be respectful when you bring up a concern, like, hey, not hey, all right? Is that crystal clear to you, Harpo? Yeah, like that. Not like that, like that.
Oh, right.
You got it? Hey. No, not like that. Hey, like that.
Hey.
Okay, there you go. That's better. That's respectful. Okay, let's continue on. I think I'm almost at the breaking point. Hold on, Hold on, I think I missed.
If you have some concern, bring it up, but be very respectful when you do it. Like, hey, not hey, like, you know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Hey, not hey. Totally.
Okay, whatever you say, I'm innocent, whatever, it doesn't matter. In the overall scheme of things, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to guide you. Then, I don't want to be lectured by you.
So taking care of and guidance. This guidance and taking care of, I'm not sure I want any part of this.
Most of the time, I'll be doing the lecturing. You're going to be listening. Say I'm innocent, whatever, it doesn't matter. I am the innocent teacher. Can you chat?
The innocent teacher.
You're the student. Maybe you're like, hey, teacher, what about this? You ask. But there should be that attitude of...
the innocent teacher? What is that? Is it an idiom?
She said I'm innocent or something. I'm like, I don't care. I'm an innocent teacher. You're going to be the student.
Innocent okay. Why am I asking? Yeah, that's my...
You be the girl. I don't want you to be like another guy and, hey, what, you know?
Harpo, I want you to be the girl, not the guy and go, hey, you know? Is that clear, Harpo? Blue, are you getting all this?
Oh boy, sure.
Does this make sense now? Why you blew it with your girlfriend? Does this example clarify it for you?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's keep going.
Did you chat? I asked her if she understood.
It's easy to give you an exam. As it is on Skype.
Okay, I can't take it anymore. We're done with this. Forget this. It's a waste of time. Okay, I think we've just shown here what a delusional student it's like in his world. You can see there's no articulate expression because there's, first of all, what's hampering him is he actually in his experience, this is like the flipping the egg for the very first time. It's such a daunting thing to do that he's forgetting how to express himself. Like all the wheels are coming off because this is an important first step. It reminds me of Ladice, the very first time he confronted a girl. I told him to call this girl back and confront her, and his voice started trembling, and he's just having a tough time getting the words out because he was doing something he was not used to doing. This was exercising his authority, telling a girl no, putting the limit on her. This is a new thing for an emasculated male to do. So it's understandable that it was shaky and all over the fucking place. So I'm sure in Bogler's mind, he was conveying what he wanted to convey, but his mouth wasn't in sync with his intention. Or it could just be that Bogler doesn't practice at all, and so this is the way it naturally comes out.
It's both.
Yes, I would say it's a little of both. So there you have it, first-hand experience. Okay, so we're going to have to end it here. Unfortunately, we still have a couple topics left.
Wait, one question.
Yes.
So how Bogler, can he make it so that he's understandable? Is there any specific thing he should be doing when he's writing his expression posts? I mean, I get that practice is
Yes. You want to know what he should be doing?
What should he be doing?
Who is this, Harpo?
Yeah.
Here's the secret. He should be writing expression posts. How can I recommend him doing something in his expression post when there's no expression post to recommend?
That's a good point.
Yeah, that is a great point. It's called practice. There's nothing to adjust. There's nothing to correct when there's nothing to see. How am I going to correct his EM report when there is no EM report? How am I going to correct this travesty you just heard on an MP3 when it's not posted? There's no example. There's nothing to see. Just Bogler's word. Oh yeah, I'm keeping this bitch in check. Is he keeping this bitch in check? Of course not. He's not even fucking speaking English to her.
All right. That answers my question.
Yeah, that answers my question too. I have a question.
This is the funniest podcast I've ever heard.
Okay, does anybody else have any last minute concerns or questions very briefly? Anybody? Bueller?
I want to say thank you for Nick for taping the conversation.
Thank you, Bogler, for being brave enough to tape your conversation. It was educational in its own way.
Yeah.
And enjoyable to listen to.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm listening to it. I can see, and I just I just gotta keep putting the work. It's frustrating.
It is frustrating. It's frustrating to me because I keep telling you how to do it, and you're not practicing it. This is what I'm talking about. When I remember I posted something recently about separating something into degrees. Did anybody read about the example I posted? Splitting the atom. That was it.
No,
Oh, in your expression post.
Yeah, it was one of the expression posts or one of the responses to one of the, I think it was to Treason X.
okay.
I was talking
right.
about splitting the atom. There's a difference between saying, I'm just doing I'm good, it's all good, I'm having a good day, versus,
Yeah, you were correcting Trey, now I remember.
yes, versus the elaboration on my experience, elaboration on my reactions to my experiences. Those bring you into my world, so you know what it means when I say I'm having a good day. I mean, I heard this guy, he comes up to the coffee shop and he goes, he's right in front of me ordering, and the guy asks him, so how's your day? I guess he's a regular. He says, good.
Good,
And then the next skips a beat, and he goes, have to deal with all these assholes. So is his day good? No. He's just an asshole. He doesn't know how to speak. He doesn't know how to express his real intention, his real expectation. He doesn't know how to bring the other person into his experience. He has no practice. He just has rote practice. He has everybody's poor social poor social habits. When you ask somebody, hey, how you doing? What do you say? What are you supposed to say?
Good.
I'm
How are
fine.
you?
Yeah.
How are you?
I say, good. How you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you? Right?
Yep.
Fucking meaningless. You might as well just say fish, and the other person says banana, and then you leave. It's just as productive because there's no concern for your expectation. There's no elaborating on your experience, on your reactions to things. So nobody knows what it's like being you. When somebody says, hey, I'm doing fine, and the other person says, hey, I'm doing fine, I don't know what the fucking difference is between fine over here and fine over there. Because fine
Next
over
time
here,
somebody says something like that, just say, I'm doing fucking terrible dealing with all these retards, just to gauge a reaction. I love doing that.
super, super tip. Okay, thank you, gentlemen, for...
I was trying to understand the...
Boggles, I'm sorry, bud, you're breaking up. Last bit of advice. No, not advice. Just the last words. Thank you guys for joining us. As always, it's been educational. We'll have to continue. I don't remember. Let's see. Where do we leave off? Right there. Okay, so I got to delete that below that part. We didn't get that far. Okay, so let's do this again. We'll try and do this tomorrow if time permits me, and we will get it done because we got a lot of stuff to cover. Thank you guys for joining us. Take